That'll do.
Oh.
That's how we do. Faff,
Hello.
faff, faff.
Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Faff, faff, faff.
Hello. Hello. I got an emote thanks to Fool for subscription.
Thank you, Fuel.
Thanks for the unicorn.
What did I get?
Wow.
Oh, I got a crown on a pillow. Sick.
I didn't
Thank you,
get
Fuel.
anything.
Oh.
Hi everybody. I hope you are doing well this week. I hope you've had a good week of looking after yourself and the people around you. I like to wing every intro ever. Sometimes they just come out as gibberish. Blibbly boop bop. So today, as a special treat, we are. Jenny has been raising money for the Yemen humanitarian crisis, and today we are going to carry that on. We're going to do that in a way that we usually kind of reserve for our big charity streams that we do once a year, which, by the way, we're still working on. But for this one, it's going to be impacting our main game, which is something we don't usually allow. I have got quite strict kind of internal thing where I just want I want our Sunday game to be something that is, if it's influenced by people, then it's in a kind of chill way, like a kind of a minor way that we can kind of shrug off. So today we are continuing Jenny's fundraising. And you can donate 5 Great British puns, to spin the wheel, and I will roll a dice. Probably not allowing the same answer more than once. We'll see how it goes. And some crazy shit will happen.
Hell yeah.
Basically, some crazy shit that I have specifically designed. So, I mean, we might need to explain that multiple times. Stags, stop. Stags. Stags get a free roll on the table. No, we're raising money for a very good cause. So, if you wanna spend some 5 puns, there'll be a roll and some crazy. Some of the things on there are a bit more subtle. Some of them are extremely unsubtle. Like very, very unsubtle.
Like a punch
to
to
the
the
degree, to the degree that it's going to have quite a significant impact. But
you just have to find out.
But this T-shirt. Okay. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. So someone might have to keep tabs on the donatee thingy, and say that you want to do the rolls, if you want to do the rolls. They might not happen absolutely immediately. It depends on where we're at in the story, but they will happen for surezies. Okay, so last session, we solved a mystery. The mystery of Small Hallow, and where did Lyra go?
Where did Lyra go?
Where did Lyra go? We started the session with a muted Katie. And
good joke too. Well, it's a mediocre joke, but
Fuel donated £20
20
and commented,
pounds?
"Spin that wheel." Is that 4 spins of the wheel?
Oh
Could
my
we
god!
Can we have 4? Also, we've raised £420 now for 20 days. Good job.
Hey.
Thank you, Fuel. That's
Okay,
really sweet of you.
Well, that is excellent. Thank you very much for your generous donation.
It's down to you, Tom, if you want to do 4 or 1. I'm not sure if you can claim 4 in the 1 specific thing. I'll have a look.
I mean, he's paid for 4.
Yeah, well, fine by me if you ask for.
He's paid for 4.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to get every single one of these because it will be 2 is fine. Okay, well, if that's what 4 wants, that's what 4 gets.
Which is our motto, really.
I am rolling in the general chat so you can all see. Okay.
Oh, crit fail, great.
Okie dokie. Okay.
I knew I was going to forget something. It was roll 20.
We've rolled... Okay, so we've rolled some pretty good ones here. Oh, no, we haven't. Oh, yes, we have.
That's him counting enemies to spawn.
That's me. I put it in an Excel document, and they're not aligned with the cells. So let me align them with the cells.
Okay.
By deleting these top
Excel
rows.
skills. Thought you were a scientist.
Sorry, do you want Randall to die? I'm not the kind of DM who threatens that kind of stuff, but if you start slating my Excel skills, you're out.
You're out.
Okay.
There's a line and you stepped over it.
Okay.
It's the line at the edges of the Excel.
Don't cross that. Okay, so thank you very much for your donations. I will express your spins momentarily once we've gone over the recap, if that's okay. So, as a recap, I will speedily go through it. What we had was last week you started at a very convenient quest checkpoint, but basically time to start. And you turned around after being basically told there's a girl in this village who's gone missing. Please find her. This is where she lives. She's gone. Do some detective work, which is very unhelpful. You turned around and there was suddenly a mysterious gnome behind you. Nobody knows where it came from, but it was there. Top tier quality content.
It's not 5 tons, it's 5 tons.
Anyway, so there was a gnome there, and you were like, that's a bit weird. Wasn't there before? No problemo. After a little bit of exploring the village to find the house of the father, you found him. You also realized that his house was also being watched by gnomes. And that the gnome you saw before was gnome behind you. I can't stop it. It's forever. It doesn't even make sense anymore. No. Anyway, he was behind you, and there was some more in the bushes, and the hedges being all creepy. Jenny, do you have the image that you did for my doodle? Because that will be relevant.
I can find it.
But please do.
Someone called Fergus Bog just donated £20 and said, I don't know how this works. Spin the wheel. I don't know. Is that someone you know?
Thanks.
Thank you.
So
it's time to spin some wheels.
Spin the wheel, I don't know.
4 spins.
Hell yeah. We're going to die this episode.
Do you want... sorry, who is responsible for that donation?
That's Bryce, Last Geek.
Oh, Last Geek. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do you want the full 4? You're more than welcome to take the full 4 rolls.
Or the
but if you want to do a full and
sure? Question mark.
Sure? Question mark. Okay. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
6 things appear to kill you.
Okay.
Ooh, 2 3s.
You got 2 3s.
Okay. Oh well, that's the good one.
2 of those, please. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Okay, and what's the...
I have no idea what buttons do. Have some money.
Oh my god. Okay, this is gonna get good. Some of these are excellent. Some of them are very subtle. Some of them are outright extremely fucking weird. And I have to try and make it make sense in the story. Hopefully it will. Anyway, so
the first room of this stronghold is demotivational posters, so
they're motivational. They're just bad motivational posters. So you basically went to speak to this guy. Turns out he does very much miss his daughter, and he doesn't know where she is. But also it was sleep deprived after about 3 weeks of not being able to sleep because gnomes were following him around everywhere he went and keeping him awake. After a little bit of detective work, you found out that he and his daughter had a fight because he did not approve of the gentleman caller who wanted her hand in relationship or whatever.
The only gentleman caller in
the only in the village, yeah. So you find the future Zero Munch. Nice to see you there, Kawaifu. Anyway, so a little bit more detective work. You found the house of the gentleman caller. Turns out his name is Giorgio, and Giorgio is the only wizard in the local vicinity. There are a couple of different things that are going on in this village. Turns out that the local crypt has had some bodies go missing, and what's his name? Is it Frederick? Frederick blamed Giorgio, his daughter's love interest, for being a necromancer, something that you require a license for and is largely frowned upon in Cormier, which demolished his reputation, and everyone around there hates him now. But turns out that Lyra and Giorgio actually did have a romantic entanglement, because you went to Giorgio's house, found yourself surrounded by more gnomes. They were guarding his place, and every time you turned around, every time you stopped looking in your different directions, another gnome would appear from the bushes, a dagger in hand. And I got Jenny to draw that for my donation for the Yemen thing, and it was excellent. So you spoke to Giorgio, and turns out that Giorgio was more than happy to cooperate with you after you'd shown your kind of distaste for Lyra's father, because he's a bit of an arsehole. And he revealed that she had been living in a love nest underneath his house, and it was her idea to use the gnomes to pester her father so that he would leave the village and go and stay with family in the nearby town of Walloon, so that she could take over the farm and restore their reputation and the reputation of Giorgio, and everything would be fine. But she also needs your help, and that is to restore his reputation by finding the real reason that these corpses are going missing, because it's not him. Then you went off to speak to the mayor, and you were like, found her. All you had to do was talk to Giorgio. Turns out she was here the whole time. Give me your money. And he was like, okay, but also could you do the zombie thing, please? The fact that all the skeletons is going, it seems pretty bad. I was hoping that would be a twofer. And you were like, sure, might cost you more next time. And he was like, okay, same price. And you went to investigate the crypt. You went there, you found that some of the bodies were missing. There are some police here, and all that happens a lot. And you followed their tracks with the expert survival roles of our ranger here, Oro, finding the tracks that these skeletal footprints, bones being dragged across the floor, had led out to the river that feeds the sea. And once you got to the edge of the water, you noticed that there was, hidden behind the copse of trees that you'd walked through, an island in the middle of the river. About was it a quarter mile off? I think it's a quarter mile off the shore. And you used your very handy dandy companion Nugget, the giant bat, to fly yourselves over there and kind of start the adventure. As you arrived, you found yourself at a large building, which I've referred to as a folly, which is, in real terms, it's a building that's kind of created as a kind of Katie's eyebrow.
I thought that was just the name of the place. So is this another one of those things that I didn't know about because I'm American?
I mean, it might be. Maybe this is a word that I've just got in my head as a thing.
Because folly is a word.
Yeah, it's a word, but it's also a costly ornamental building with no practical purpose, especially a tower or a mock Gothic ruin built in a large garden or park.
I was never aware of the second definition.
So it's a folly in that it was made just kind of. It's a building for a building's sake. It's just kind of a show off for the ego of whomever built it. This is not entirely a folly. This is used as basically it was as we got from Randall's expert history role and his knowledge of people and places and stories, that this is the follow of Kip Jaster. Kip Jaster was a legendary mythical king of many hundreds of years ago who basically thought that he was the best king ever. And he thought he was the best king ever, and that his word for people who were subjects did this last week as well. Subjects would absolutely loved him. He was convinced that they loved him, and that everything he did was fantastic, and he was the best. In reality, he was quite a shit king, but when he died, when he was dying, he got himself his folly made as a tribute to himself, as like a museum, so that when he died, his subjects could visit this folly and kind of just revere him and enjoy, his endeavors. And that's the information that we got from Randall. Then we took a step inside the building and found that the first room was filled with terrible, terrible motivational art. It was lots of just absolute gibberish plastered on weird backgrounds that didn't really make any sense.
And if you're confused about what was going on, it had art in big letters.
It had art in big letters. Should we put the inspo bot in chat so everyone can see examples of it?
Hell yeah.
There we go. I've got it for you. If you want to find out some of the posters that were in this room, also the paintings, the pieces of art that were here, please make sure to generate a piece of art using that link. And that is what was on the wall. Okay. So we start today's session. Oh, there was one more thing. Neurali used a perception roll to use her extra plus d6 from the last game to see if she could hear anything. And she could hear that there was music coming from the room to the south of her. Okay? We're all up to date?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to have to describe one more thing because as you are on the threshold, you feel that there is a kind of a slight magical aura about the place. You are not quite in the room, but you can see the art from where you are. You opened the door, but have not taken a step in.
And that's just like so obviously apparent that it doesn't even require like an Arcana check.
Yeah. It is extremely pervasive.
Okay.
First art that came up, 2 people kissing in the snow. Everything's attractive in the eyes of Satan.
That's perfect.
That is good.
That's brilliant.
And that's exactly what was on the wall. Every single thing.
I did another one again today, and it's just a picture of like somebody's clearly put like lighter fluid in a line on the ground. So there's like a concrete ground with like the construction red and white barrier in the background, and there's just like this line of fire, and it says, "Listen, it's never too late to run." I'm like,
oh my
ominous.
god!
I tell you, the ones I get kept being ominous.
Oh my god! I genuinely think that there must be some kind of like algorithm thing where it picks up something in your like search or whatever. Because the ones like I was doing it with my friend Juliet yesterday, and she was getting some really specific ones about success and stuff. And was it Jenny? Were you doing it? It was just like all about penises.
Yes. Therefore, it must be algorithm based.
Must therefore be based on search history.
And if you see the ones in the general chat, Kawaifu just put one in there, and it's excellent. It's just someone with their fist pumped like this and says, "Don't stop vomiting." And I did one last. I did 2 last night. One of them was just a picture of some people eating, and something like drops on the table, and it says, "Grab cake, fast cake," which I think is hilarious. And then the one directly underneath it, if you guys aren't in the Discord, you should be in the Discord. It's just a wall of text that's really kind of actually quite scary and invasive.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, wait, what?
I was reading it and I was just like, this is very unsettling. I don't like this, actually. Halfway through it stops making any sense, but the first half is like, oh my god. Anyway.
Which chat is this in?
This is in general shit in Jenny's Discord.
General shit, okay.
You have to scroll up a little bit. But still, it's been funny. Anyway, so yes, as you are at the threshold, you feel that there is definitely something pervasively magical about this place. Anyone who can cast spells, at least. So not Randall.
Oh.
So as we're standing there, Hurley's like, do you feel that?
Aura hasn't like had magic for very long, so I wonder whether it would like make her feel a little bit like tingly sort of thing, like she wouldn't know what it is.
Sure.
Dog's just linked one that just says there's a link between marriage and crying. It's just a woman on a hill looking sad.
Oh my god.
Wow. Well, you're the married one here, Dogs. Aura's just like, yeah, I feel tingly. Do you get that?
That's one way to describe it. It's just palpable magical presence or something.
That's what it is. Okay. Yeah.
I don't feel anything.
At all.
I just feel the wet spray from the river.
No tinglies?
No. I don't know what a tingly is.
Last campaign we had the evil tinglies.
Once I said that, I was like, "Oh, I'm bringing tinglies back."
I
Excellent.
know.
Look,
I was like-
we haven't
I
had any
almost said not
tinglies.
even evil tingle.
Had absolutely no tinglies this campaign.
Forgetting I have a turquoise lily that I have painted, by the way, because there were no turquoise lilies for me to purchase, and I keep forgetting to
Oh
wear it.
yeah.
So I actually have a physical one of those.
That's cool.
Why tinglies made me think of that, I don't know. Well, something's going on. Also, I can hear music.
Oh yeah, we could hear music, couldn't we? After
What
last.
kind of music was it? Was it classical, you said? Or
It was classical
harpsichord?
music, yeah. It's
Yeah.
harpsichord. Classical harpsichord.
What is that trash music?
It sounds like Baroque, which is one of the best eras.
I only know pumping beats.
I only know compliment raps.
As an oboist, I love Baroque music because they cared about us then.
Oh.
Well, should we go in?
I mean, I guess as long as we're still being sneaky.
Oh, you've been.
We were sneaky last time we came in here.
Hmm.
Let's go. It's cold out here.
They go inside.
Go in.
You take a step across the threshold. You feel an almost, but not quite, palpable change in the air as you step into this kind of more magical area. As you do so, each of you feel something change about you. Oro, you feel lucky.
Okay.
Luckier than
You're a lucky
usual.
punk.
You get +1 advantage roll.
Ooh. Okay.
Nearly. You feel lucky. You get +1 advantage roll. Notice that we've got 2 3s in that in that list. Randall.
I knew this was gonna come.
You feel unlucky.
Oh, fuck.
+1 disadvantage roll.
Oh.
As you as you take a step into the threshold, one of the pieces of art on the wall, the one about Satan, falls off of the wall, slams into the ground, and crashes into 100 pieces. Its shards are everywhere. You realize that it was painted on wooden boards.
Wait, I'm sorry. What happened? I was trying to redo the thing. D6 should
So
be
you've
available
got-
now.
You feel lucky. You've got +1 advantage roll.
Yeah,
Nerdy feels
Nerdy
lucky.
doesn't.
She's got +1 advantage
Randall
roll.
doesn't. Yeah.
Randall needs help. Randall's got a disadvantage roll.
Okay. Yeah.
Feels unlucky. And then one of the pieces of art, the one with everything's attractive in the eyes of Satan, fell off the wall, smashed into 100 pieces, 1,000 pieces, a million pieces, a billion pieces.
Oh.
That's a lot of pieces.
Thanks, Kawaifu. Give all the D6s to me so that I can fuck everybody up this game and they can't get positive things.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
So the
Maybe I can add that D6 onto the rolls that you make with the table.
the disadvantage thing, is that just my next roll?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okily pokily. I'm gonna do something really boring. I tie my shoelaces in a complicated knot. I don't have any shoelaces.
That would be a very bad idea, but please go ahead. But you just obviously your character doesn't know that you
No, I know.
have a disadvantage, but
Oh,
to clarify.
joking.
I'm just clarifying. Hi, Wicked Game RPG.
So there's a couple of doors in here, right? There's one.
There are
Turn.
2. There is one door. If you move yourself
Oh.
on the map, we've got dynamic lighting on. There is a door. The dynamic lighting was done during last game in a panic, so it's not very good. But there is a door directly to your north. It's here. And there's one to your south as well. I don't know why that. Oh my god, the dynamic lighting here is abysmal. Do better, Tom.
Here, I'll just move so you can't tell.
Wait.
Oh,
no,
just
there you go.
kidding.
Oh my god,
Oh,
why
no,
is
no,
that?
go back.
There we go. Solved
Hey.
it. Solved it. In fact, I can move that down a little bit. There you go. There's a door there.
Which one is the music coming from?
To the south.
I just naturally start gravitating that way, but don't go through the door.
Okie dokie. You can kind of hear the tinkling of, well, not the tinkling, the plucking of the harpsichord in the other room. I hate the harpsichord.
I love the harpsichord.
It's the worst. From the room to the south of you. You can also smell cooking, like some roast vegetables. Not from that room, but from the room possibly to the north of you. Map isn't showing if it's supposed to.
It is now. It is now, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
It's on a different scene.
Thanks for pointing that out. Cool.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Sorry, I'm trying to do a million things at once, so sometimes
No, you got a lot
get
on.
lost
That's
in it.
okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Do you want to go through that room? Are you going there? Okay.
She just nods. She's like listening.
You okay? You seem entranced. You alright? Everything fine? The tingling's not too bad for you, right? Everything okay?
Nothing feels bad yet. It's just strong.
Okay.
We have the D20 in chat still, don't we?
Yeah.
I think so. It's exclamation mark roll, right?
I think it's just D20.
Oh, is that what it is? I always do it wrong.
Yeah, I did it wrong earlier when I looked.
Okay.
Yep, it's D20.
Fool, could you please roll a D20 for me?
Oh. Another painting falls off the walls.
I'm adding sound effects.
That was deliberate. Everything here is intentional. Nothing happens that we don't want to
No,
happen.
it was all scripted. That was page 73. Keep up.
Ooh, 8.
Thank you very
Good
much,
roll.
Fool. Thank you very much. As you are watching Nurali pace towards the door to the south, Randall, you sneeze.
Achoo.
As you sneeze, confetti comes out instead, and you just coat the floor, and it doesn't stop. You just keep sneezing, and every time you sneeze, more and more confetti comes out and it just coats the floor, and to the point where everyone turns around and just achoo, covering the entirety of the room, and just tons and tons of confetti.
Oh my god, help me.
Randall, what the fuck?
Is that normal for you?
No. Is it all for you?
I mean, it's beautiful. It's better than normal, I guess. But Jesus.
It's got to the point now where every inch of the floor it has confetti on it. Some of them, some areas aren't, it's not like an inch deep, but it's everywhere. To the point where the only person in the room that's not got some confetti on them in some way, especially Oro, because she's of smaller stature, is Nurali, because her clothes can't get dirtied.
Shit.
The confetti is now sticking somewhat to you.
I don't think Randall is trying to be particularly sneaky anymore at this point either.
Fair
He's
enough.
just, like, sneezing and screaming and being like, "What is happening to me? What is this place?"
Go outside and see if it stops.
Okay. I go outside and I'm gonna head straight for like the riverbank.
Okay.
The bank.
As you do so, you still feel yourself sneezing, but you get out the front door and it kind of, oh, okay, oh, okay.
No.
Like, you're okay now. It's still very much in the room.
What? I'm not. What? Randall doesn't get back
It's
in.
still.
It's just like, what was that?
I mean,
I've never heard of anything like sneezing like that before. I'm scared.
Do I think that this could be like, as a sorcerer, do I think that this could be like wild magic?
Give me an Arcana check.
is the confetti like just normal confetti? Or
All
is it
green.
like it's not confetti?
It's
It's
like-
absolutely snot confetti.
Ah.
It's definitely snot confetti.
Thank
It's not
goodness
sticking
for
you.
this robe.
It's not sticking to you because it's like static or whatever. No, it's just straight up sticking to
Okay.
you because it's wet and slimy.
A prestidigitation them clean while I'm thinking.
Okay. You find yourself unable to think of any kind of source that this magic might come to. Although I will remind you of our global rule of everyone being able to check twice or but 2 rolls in total for the party. So if someone else wants to check, probably a spellcaster.
Yeah, I haven't heard of anything like this before, but I don't know if there are like trickster magics. I mean, there are things that can create illusions, so some things are tricky. But this, I don't know.
Didn't feel like an illusion.
No, but like just things that can trick people. I feel like this would be like a prank because you're not hurt. It's just annoying for you to have to experience. At least I feel like it would have been annoying.
Yeah. A
You
little bit
seem
scary.
perturbed, so.
Mhm.
Is he still
Yeah.
outside?
Absolutely.
Okay. Try coming back inside and seeing if it happens again.
I don't want to. I put like one toe over the edge. Like,
Your toe feels slightly different, but it doesn't sneeze.
there's no confetti flying out of my toe.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take like a step in the doorway, I guess.
You are inside.
I hope it knows. Well, it's not happening right now.
Maybe
That's
you're
good.
allergic. Maybe you're allergic to the place.
Maybe I'm allergic to art.
Maybe that's a thing. For
What
sure.
a life to lead. That's a thing. What a life to lead.
I don't know how somebody could be allergic to art, but if you could, sneezing bits of paper seems to be continually more and more odd.
Nugget has now forced themselves into the room and is trying to taste the confetti.
No.
Now the whole underside of Nugget is now just covered in confetti. Like it's just rainbow sheeny shimmer.
I clean all of the snout off of
It's gonna take a while.
I mean,
do it
Nugget
For
does
now,
look
it's
at a
cute.
cute.
time.
Sparkly Nugget.
It's kind
No,
of cute.
That's fine.
I
I
mean,
don't ride him, so that's on you.
Yeah, as long as it's not on the back, it's fine. You look great.
Nugget looks very confused, but then it also rolls over on the back to have a tummy rub.
Oh.
It's sticky.
Not really.
I clean.
I clean.
It's okay. I clean.
I clean. Okay.
I'm still feeling weird.
We've got some other rolls to go through here. What I'm worried about is that I don't want them to. No, you know what? Let's just keep going. It's all right. It's fine.
Well, you know, we've still got a couple of hours, so you know, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't want
I've
it to
got to
get
try
too
and
weird.
space them out. I
Yeah.
don't want to put them all at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then nothing else happens for the rest of the stream.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, it's this room then, okay?
Yeah.
Ah, sweet. As long as we stay out of this room, we're fine.
You're fine. That's great. Well, I carry on. Okay, I guess it's right.
That or go back.
No, we must press on. I'll just try and hold my nose and not breathe any dust.
Okay, don't breathe up any confetti.
Yeah.
Should we knock on the door if we can hear music in there?
Do we want to be quiet or do we want to announce our presence?
Points at
although I guess
Randall.
it's-
Just
It's like I think
That's
someone
fair.
might know.
I'll
we
knock
go
on
to
the
the
door
door?
with the music.
Okay. There is no response, but the music is still playing.
Should I open it? They didn't answer.
I'm gonna look for traps. Now I have those eyes. Not in a spell though. I just want to look for any obvious type of things.
Sure. Give me a perception check or an investigation check.
Oh, 25.
Ooh, girl.
The dichotomy
Um,
here.
You have no sense from observing the door to the south of you and to the north of you that this place was intended to be trapped, and nothing here correlates with it being trapped. There's no signs of this being trapped in any way. Nothing of the design of the building or anything looks malicious.
Okay. Yeah, let's try and open the door, I guess.
Turn the handle and push or pull, whichever is appropriate.
Push it open, and in front of you, you find a room that looks nothing like the map.
Excellent.
Listen, I'm working with what I got. I don't have a map creator tool all the time to create all the maps. In this room, you find that there is a large harpsichord as well as multiple instruments that you can see strung about the room.
I get it. Okay.
You can also see in the southern side of it that there is in the center of the room is the base of what you imagine was a huge statue. You can see that it is made out of stone, and you can see there is a small amount of marble that was kind of just off like an inch or two off, that's been kind of broken off. The room is very tall, like maybe 20 feet, so you imagine there was a marble statue here. But in fact, what you can see around the room is that there are multiple smaller marble statues here instead. Each of them kind of have weird, contorted depictions of the same person. And they all kind of align with this very cheery-looking monarch. You can tell that this person is wearing a crown. And it looks like... Someone give me a perception check.
Who has the best perception? I've got 5.
I've also got 5.
Okay, you go for it. I just roll.
Okay. 23.
It looks to you like these different statues, of which there are 5, were probably kind of forced together. Like, it looks like someone's taken this massive statue, broken it into smaller parts, and then made those parts into statues themselves. Like someone's trying to recycle one large statue into resources to use for multiple other smaller statues.
Does it look like they did it by hand? Like there are rough edges where they couldn't carve out other bits, or does it look like
it's very shoddily done?
Okay.
Yeah, it's very rough hewn, as it can be for marble. But the reason that you see it is so bizarre is because the way that the people are kind of contorted looks a bit like, for example, one person who's like got some weird stature like this. It's because it was made out of the leg, and they're kind of around the room, across the walls to the east and to the south, where the harpsichord is just kind of in front of the door. At the harpsichord is a skeleton playing the harpsichord. There is very little rotten flesh on it. It's absolute kind of pretty much pure bone, animated and playing the harpsichord.
I do the lean into the group thing, and I'm like, should we ask them what their name is?
I mean, it's worth a shot, I guess.
As you turn to do the lean, something about Oro seems a bit different, and you kind of just do a double back. Oro, you've not noticed this because you've been kind of paying attention to the door, and Randall hasn't noticed because he's also been paying attention to the door. All of the hair on your entire body has reversed. So now on your head, where you had long hair, you are now bald. And literally everywhere else on your body is now covered in hair.
Excellent. Okay. And Aura had very long hair.
Yeah.
And big hair, so yeah. Okay. Wait, have I not? So I have not noticed?
You've not noticed this,
okay.
No.
I was like, whoa.
I turn to lean in, and I'm like, should we ask them their name? And you're like, for the shot. And I'm like, oh.
What? What?
Thank you for the donations to Yemen, guys.
And I just kind of I'm like, you and I like touch my face.
And is it just like all attached, like everything's fine whilst I'm like
no,
messing with it?
It's not. It's not like it's coming off.
Coming off, okay. Is it like all over my body, like on my
Uh-huh.
hands and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Aura's gonna
It's
scream.
to varying lengths.
Okay.
Like it's not like, for example, your head / facial hair
Mm.
is pretty much in proportion. Like your eyebrows are missing, but
Okay.
but the skin here, like that is quite short hair.
Right.
But like
It's
it's
not
just
like a
like
sheepdog.
it's like it's kind of
All
you
right,
know,
guys.
we can kind of work with it.
Okay,
Generally.
okay.
You can kind of decide where it's especially bad. You can have extremely long hair on your hand if you want, or no, not like just very short hair or whatever.
Okay, it'll be very short hair on the hands and then just like big old beard.
Okay.
Aura's now cousin it. Aura's now a furry?
There is a lot of connotation to being a furry that's beyond just having facial
There's
hair.
a lot going on here. There's a lot going on.
Aura screams and starts freaking out. And just like, oh, what the fuck is that space? What's happening? Why is my... And she touches the head and there's nothing there. She's like, she screams even louder because of that.
I'm sure we can fix it.
What do you mean fix it?
Like reverse it. I think it's something about this place.
Yeah.
Try going outside again.
Okay. I run outside to the
all
water.
The confetti is just like all like
Yeah, as
connected
you
in.
run through the other room, you are picking up confetti as you
Oh,
go.
it's all
You're
like
in
in
a
my...
room.
Oh.
As you step outside, the hair has not changed.
Oh shit.
I go to the water and try and like wash my face. To try and
You just have very wet hair. all over your face.
Ah!
I dry it.
Ah! What am I gonna do? Little Shane, try it.
There
Yeah,
are things
Max.
that, if this is magic, there are ways to make it go away. I don't currently know how to do that, but if it doesn't resolve itself, then we can find someone who does, or I can work on that.
Aura takes a deep breath in. She screams once more. It's like, okay, I guess we're gonna fucking go in that fucking skeleton room, I guess. Whatever. Fucking stupid magic bullshit. I know I wanted a beard, but I wanted both.
Just periodically I'm like touching my like face and my hands now, just like checking to make sure that hair isn't growing out of them.
I kind of wanted to do that to Randall, just so that Randall had a full head of hair.
That seems anticlimactic though. Hey Randall, you grew hair.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Congrats.
Plus I made him sneeze already.
So as we like kind of like cross over the threshold into the music room again, I'll just excuse me. What's your name?
This guy completely ignores you.
Oi!
Oh, okay.
Oi, skeleton lad.
Completely, not even remotely registers your company at all.
I don't think he has a consciousness. I think he's just, well, they are just animated. Also, have you noticed these bits of statue? It looks like somebody broke the one that belongs there, and I point to like the base, the obvious base, broke it up and made these smaller ones.
On the base, is there like a plaque or anything around it that would say what it was? Or
It says Kib Jaster, King of Fadrista, beloved by all.
It says the name of that dude you told us about, Randall. There's a statue for him. Why would they make like tiny people?
Do the tiny people have little plaques on them?
No, they do not have plans.
Damn.
Do they all look like the same person? Like they're all modeled after the same? Okay. Maybe somebody wanted to express more emotions than one statue could handle.
Was
'Cause
it
that one looks
you,
happy.
Skeleton Boy? Turns around and looks at Skeleton Boy.
Are there any other doors in this room?
No.
Can we look around the room to see if, or like, I know you said the map isn't what this looks like, and there's like various like boxes and things. Are there any boxes or anything like that in this room?
There are boxes. Yeah, there are boxes.
Okay.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, let's take a look at these things. You're the investigation person, right? Yeah, I help you.
Nope. I'm asking you.
Dig it.
I think we're all very close. I'm 1 point above everyone else, so it's not
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, I have advantage. No.
It's
not
advantage
this
on the
room.
next roll.
Oh, like should I have
should've-
already used it?
Yeah, you should have already used it. I apologize
Okay.
for not. I didn't make that clear. That's my own fault.
Okay, I'll
It's
just use
the
it.
same. It's the same way because Randall has disadvantage on his next roll. He can't choose when it is.
Okay,
So-
I'll just roll twice then. 9.
Okay. So you shuffling around the boxes and various pieces of furniture and instruments in here, find a garden gnome tucked behind some of the instruments.
I feel a bit weird picking this up because the other ones seem to have personalities, but Giorgio said he was controlling them, so they probably aren't sentient. And I pick up the like gnome and show it to them, and I'm like,
No, for fuck's sake. Fucking gnomes.
well, he said this was like a family thing, right? Didn't he say that?
Something about other people also being a part of it, yeah. Oro is braiding the beard. Yeah, she's nervous braiding it.
Yeah, maybe the necromancer is a family member of Giorgio's, which won't do much to clear his name, I don't think, but
True.
doesn't seem to be anything else in here. Should we go to the other door?
Mm-hmm. You gonna leave that gnome in there? Or you gonna bring it with us?
I think we can leave it here.
Yeah. Not a bad idea.
If I put it back in the box.
Okay. So you step back into the inspirational art room.
Mm-hmm.
Very successfully inspirational.
Mm-hmm.
And you pace across to the other side of the room, looking for an opportunity to open the next door. As you do so, Nurali, you find that you're all pacing across the room. You get to the door and you're like, "Let's go!" As you do so, Nurali, you turn and you see once again the gnome has followed you into this room. It is only directed at you. You notice this because everyone else has kind of stepped just in front of you as you're walking. You just navigate. You're just walking through the next room, and you see it, and it's like you kind of pause. It's like, okay, and it's just only at you. Everyone else has walked past now. It's just looking at you.
Oh no. Does it have a knife?
It does not have a knife.
Okay, well that's good.
Has a chainsaw.
Oh, what was it?
Opulent and imperial toe-field illustration.
Does it look
Giving-
what is the expression on the gnome's face?
Neutral, placid.
Okay. Well, it's
got its
doing it
murder face on.
again.
Oro comes down to the gnome's level, which doesn't take much. Stop it! We're fine. We're trying to help. Turn the gnome around.
I love it.
Just
Good.
like put a blindfold on it.
Genius.
I love it, so it can't spy. I'll knock on the door, the other door.
Okay. There is once again no response.
Turn the handle and push.
Turn the handle and push.
Or pull.
It's a pull door.
Yeah.
I open the door. Let me just fix my horrible dynamic lighting.
Say that, but this is the DM who once made us we accidentally locked a door that was already open, or a vault that was already open, because we didn't check that it was actually open.
I don't remember that, but that sounds like me. Yeah.
We was in Thingy Bubble Knackdoodle, the first's house.
Oh, old school, man. That was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, that was a long time ago.
I've had
Oh
other
my God.
DMs do that too, so that's.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
that's not a
that's a-
me move.
Yeah,
That's
that's just a DM trick for all the rogues who are like, I'm gonna pick the lock.
Yeah, exactly.
We had one lock
the,
herself in a place and then be unable to unlock the cell that she locked herself into by trying to pick the lock.
The person that made this map was 2 minute maps, I think. 2 minute tabletop. 2 minute tabletop. Did you just move that light source? Yeah, dynamic lighting is so the light source is the tokens, and the light will change based on their. You can set their vision radius. And you can set it so that players can only see their individual tokens light source, or you can set it so everyone can see everyone else's light source. And you have a different layer, and you draw where all the walls and doors are and stuff. So I put a door there, and I deleted the door. Does he have a blog? They do have a website, I think, yeah. But I pay for their Patreon stuff. And as usually, if I use maps for our games, they're usually either a free map that someone's released, or I'm a patron of them. Sometimes I can't, but I try my best. I'd like to be able to make my own maps. I just don't have the time or the resources for it, really. There's a bunch of software that's on a Humble Bundle, I think, at the moment, but I don't know anybody who uses them, so I don't know if they're any good. I don't really want to spend the money when I've been spending quite a bit on
Patreon.
Well, not Patreon, but donations and stuff recently. I've kind of got to curb my spending for a little while. Inspirabot got lewd. Well, they're in the art room at the moment still. Person we switched to Roll20. This is excellent. Oh yeah. It's like £5 a month to do the dynamic lighting stuff. You need to be a fancy member. So I'm a fancy member since we play every week, so it's a fair investment for something we use all the time. Plus, to be honest, the Plus version also like the extra membership also gives you more space for uploads. And I've still got fucking images on here from like when I used this like 6 years ago. I just can't be bothered to go through and delete every single one of them. Anyway, the cartographer bundle is awesome. Oh, have you given it a shot? Have you used it before? You gotta give me your honest reviews. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to D&D. Have we used all of our donation shenanigans? We got Garden Gnome. We got Sneezes and Confetti comes out. We got 2 advantages done. We got the disadvantage, and we've done all of the hair has been flipped.
That is 6.
The hair has been flipped.
Done them.
Nice. If you would like to donate £5 to piss someone off, maybe move some hair around, you can do so at that link.
We can hope for another Oro hair flip to go back to normal.
Yeah.
That's true. Yes, possible. So yes, no, we're doing donations because we're raising funds for. I do have the DOMFT, Tom. If you wanted me to do pulls, I don't know what any of that means. That was very confusing. But you're usually helpful, Kai.
So, deck of many
things. Oh, I've got a deck of many things. Go on for a present from Jenny. Although it's missing a card. No. We're going to stay away from that. So actually, what I was about to say is, yes, we're raising money for the Yemen humanitarian crisis at the moment, and we're doing so. This is our main campaign. This is our normal campaign. I tend to not allow this kind of interaction because I don't want to fuck up a potentially very long game. and doing the deck of many things would absolutely fuck us up. But the things that I've put into the table are things that are mostly harmless, kind of funny. We'll see how they play out.
Especially because every time I've ever had to draw from a deck of many things, it's been almost the worst possible thing that you could get. No wishes for me. Like voids.
Dungeons of
and
many
Pokemon
titties.
card and
Oh, Dungeons of many titties.
Donkers of many titties. Aw.
Hi, Rich. How's it going?
give
Murder
Nerlily a free
cards. Yeah,
fireball.
exactly. But yeah, so if you do want to donate 5 pundos, 5 Great British pounds, you can also have a wheel spin. But if you can't afford it, look after you first, you know? Right. So in this room, also, Toefield Illustration said, oops, sorry, carry on. I want to make it clear that we interact with the chat a lot, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Don't apologize for talking. It's our fault for interacting more than we do.
We make no illusions of trying to be like uber professional and focused or any like
we're a rustic homemade
on
stream.
topic.
Yeah.
This is shabby chic.
Hell yeah.
Adam's here. Hi,
Hey,
Adam. How's it
Adam.
going?
Thanks for subscribing,
Adam.
Toefield.
Oh my gosh, you're here. I thought you were DMing.
Adam, you've missed some tomfoolery.
You just punched a Terry's chocolate orange and dented it instead of splitting it. Oh no, that's the worst. I'm so sorry.
Oh my
No,
God.
you, Adam. No, you.
No, you're breathtaking.
How many? Okay, so Adam is currently. Oh, it got cancelled this long. Okay.
Oh.
Adam currently running D&D games for the D&D live thing. How many is it you've got going
Oh my
in total?
gosh.
This like first like 4 days. It was like an insane number. But anyway,
Scheduled
Adam.
for 19.
What's insane?
Look at how like
Bonkers.
super important and professional he is. Like, oh, I just DM 19 games on the official D&D channel.
So they're an hour long. They're an hour long, but they're not. I don't think they're all streamed. Those ones, but they're an hour long. They're the intro quests for the new book, the new setting. Isn't that right, Adam? Do correct me if I'm wrong.
That's insane.
The Mythos one,
which
or
he's
the
getting. He's
Runeterra
getting.
one?
It's the Icewind Dale one.
Oh, that's another new one. I didn't even know. I'm trying to. Yeah, never mind. We'll talk about that later.
So which he's getting paid for and getting all these other kind of cool benefits and shit. Like what a cool guy.
What a guy, right?
Okay,
So like special to know such a famous person.
so famous. But so yes, currently all of Oro's body hair has been switched, reversed around. Randall just had like a sneezing fit where a bunch of snotty confetti came out of him and covered the entire room. More gnomes have shown up. We've got advantages. That's it. I think that's it so far. But we've got there's room.
There's room.
There's room. There's room. There's plenty of other things.
Don't forget
Anyway.
us when you're a big time star. Don't forget where you came from. I open the door.
You open the door. In this door, there is a huge population of art once again. This time, they are portraits. These are actual paintings of Kip Jaster once again. Each of these individual portraits or these paintings are of Kip Jaster doing something amazing. In one of them, there is him killing a dragon. In another, there is him giving out food to the poor and needy. In another, there is him, overseeing the construction of the folly that he is in. The building is filled. In fact, if you're in chat, please come up with more recommendations. What should Kip Jaster be doing in all of these?
All these paintings.
All these paintings are supposed to be him doing something incredible. Okay, something benevolent and incredible. So please feel free to suggest some stuff.
Well,
and it will become canon.
Adam donated £20. Thank you so much,
20 pundos.
Adam. I assume those are some incentives that got maybe. I don't know. It takes
Some 4 spins.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. No, I don't think you did. Adam, if you want to go go for the table
Do
of
you want-
shenanigans, then let us know. And then I donated £10 because I want my hair back. Please roll the dice. Please give me my hair back.
Do you want the rolls, or would you prefer the £10 just flipped your hair back?
No, do the rolls. It's funnier with the
Do
rolls.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Even if it makes my hair longer and you decide that. It's
okay.
Your hair grows hair.
Oh, God.
Oh, I
Okay.
get well. You get 4 spins, I think, Adam.
Yeah, you could
So-
get 4, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's £5 per spin.
I don't think Adam was here to realize this is all shenanigan-y stuff and not necessarily good. So I don't know if he intentionally
yeah.
is cursing me with these
Oh, yeah.
spins.
It's all shenanigans. It's all shenanigans. I mean, there's one or two good things, but for the most part, it's shenanigans. Riding a horse with bloodhounds running in the foreground with dramatic sun rays and lighting. I love it. He's in it. That's what he's doing.
Oh, well then it
Five
goes for everyone.
Kip's subscribing for free to his favorite Twitch streamer using Twitch Prime.
Nice. You could do that too if you have to try.
excellent.
Thanks,
That's
Koi.
so good. Okay, right. So we've got, what's that? 2 for Jenny, 4 for
Yeah.
Adam. Oh my god. Okay, 1, 2.
Give me my hair back. Give me my hair back.
Oh, so 2 threes. That's good.
Oh,
Ooh.
Is that 6 total there?
There we
yeah,
go.
Okay.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay. Okay. These are a lot of the same ones. Okay, wait.
You can mix
Holy
it up if
shit.
you want to mix it up.
Mhm, mhm.
As long as you
Well,
don't
I'm
mix
not
up the
going to
hair
do. I'm not going to do the same ones too many times.
Yeah.
The 3 ones I'll let you have because the 3 ones are the good ones. So could somebody please? Oh my god, wait. Let me put these all in again, so I know which ones we've got. So we've got a 1.
Mhm,
Mhm,
We've got 2 3s.
mhm.
Then we've got a 5,
mhm.
which
8
is a
and
big
10.
one. An 8 and a 10.
Do you not like? Do you not
Oh,
like?
no.
Oh no, bad luck.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh wait, is one of these
Okay.
a sneezing? I hope one of these isn't fucking sneezing.
No, I don't think it's the sneezing. No, the sneezing is the 2.
Okay.
Okay, right. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
Here we go.
No, Tom is laughing.
Mhm.
Here we...
Horrifying.
But one of
Guaranteed
these is-
bad.
One of these is a really funny one. Okay, so for the first one, I rolled 2. We've got Katie is 1, Docs is 2, and we've got Jenny is a 3.
I don't like how you announced that after.
Docs is 1, Docs is 2.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I was doing it on the Zoom call relative to where I am. As it was 1, 2, 3. It's okay. That's why I said your names rather than your characters as well. So this one is Randall. You realize whilst these guys are blindfolding the gnome,
We don't blindfold the gnome. I just turned him around.
you turn him around.
No,
As
I
they're
think
turning
Randall
them around-
blindfolded.
Yeah,
him.
Randall
Okay,
said
okay,
it, but
as you
I'm not
stand
doing
up,
that.
you turn around and you realize on the other side of the room there is another gnome staring directly at you instead. So you've got a gnome following you around now.
Oh no.
And we go
My
for
fan
our
club was going to
second.
start eventually.
We got 3, which is Jenny. Ignore the cars driving around, tiny peepees. That's Jenny gets an advantage.
Sick.
Jenny gets 2 advantages.
Ah!
So you got 3 advantages.
I think I've used one
Okay,
already.
this
by
one
accident.
is okay. As you turn to observe this gnome
Mm-hmm.
that you see in your peripheral vision, you do so, and it's so fucking dramatic. It's so dramatic. As you do so, you turn and you realize that everything you're doing is in half the speed. You are perceiving time
Cool.
at half of the speed as everybody else. You move at half the speed. Like everything about you is half the speed, including you interacting
Oh.
with your allies, your movements. You only have one
Oh,
action in
not
a
cool.
combat.
Okay. I thought-
Like,
Oh no, that's
I thought I
not.
perceived everything at half speed.
sorry, I
Well, I'm
apologize.
doing everything at half
you are
speed.
you are equivalent of
Okay, so this is actually terrible.
this is very bad. Yeah. Kip arm wrestling a garden gnome. That's excellent. That's
There was
so
another
good.
good one earlier that was like Kip wearing pauldrons made of mini spoons filled with sugar water so that he may revitalize tired bees wherever he
Oh,
goes.
that's so good.
And Kawaii
Love
said,
it.
Kip riding on a white horse, hair blowing in the wind, shirt open. Just
Also
majestic.
excellent. Old lady across the road. Love it.
Golden Guy said, "Kept painting a group of garden gnomes." Also perfect. Very appropriate.
Ideal.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So good. Okay.
Hi, Zach.
Right. So that was there's been another thing, but that doesn't happen to one person. So that's going to be something else. And now the best one. The best one. I don't really want to roll this one. I just want it to be Katie.
I haven't gotten one yet, so it's fair.
Yeah, let it be
You know
Katie.
what?
Yeah, let it be
You know
Katie.
what? It's going to be Katie. Nearly. And I do this with the utmost love.
Yes,
Trust me.
yes, so sure.
This comes from the deepest, most loving part of my heart. Okay.
This is me not getting a statue. of
Nearly
myself.
became a goddess. Didn't
But
get
still
a
didn't have a
statue.
No statue.
I mean, I think goddesses as default get their own statues, like in temples.
Probably
and stuff,
eventually
right?
get a statue, like disciples or
Nearly
something.
finds herself really struggling to speak. The reason is that everything that she's trying to say just feels wrong. It doesn't make any sense to your mouth, and it doesn't work properly.
Oh, that's really relatable.
But after a bit of experimentation, trying to figure out what was going wrong, you kind of turn to your friends. You're like, help.
Oh God.
You find that you can only speak backwards order. You don't have to say the words in reverse. You can only speak backwards.
Oh no. DM's curse.
She does the maths.
Reverse word order generator. Reverse word generator. Oh, I don't have to say the words backwards.
No. Just in order.
Happening. What's no? Oh.
The fuck?
Happening. What's no? Oh, that's it.
That's no.
That's so much cuter than like a normal way of saying something. Oh my god. So yes, no, I'm not going to make you speak the words in reverse, but the order will be back to front.
I'll do my best.
Because doing it in reverse, that's too harsh. But doing it backwards order is.
Oh, I see. Okay, yes.
It's more manageable, even if it is still an awkward burden. But here we are.
Nearly, Randall, are you guys okay?
Wait, do I know that I
Yeah.
have speed? Oh, okay.
Oh, well, everyone else to you is going extremely fast.
Why are you talking so fast?
Oh no.
No, don't die.
No, don't I? Oh no.
Thank you very much for your donation, Jenny. Also, I love that Jenny donated 2 rolls, and I also got 2 advantage rolls that went straight to Jenny.
Yes.
It's
Pay to
race, I
win,
tell you.
everyone.
It's
Pay to win.
race. There's a gnome looking at me.
Where?
To me.
There.
Turn that gnome around as well. Fuck. Nugget, I try and like talk to you. This is weird, right, Nugget? This is weird. Okay. I'm not going insane. Everything's fine. We'll be fine.
Weird very is this.
Okay.
Yoda. I'm basically just Yoda right now.
Right. You turn to Nugget, and once again, Nugget is covered in confetti that is just stuck to everywhere on him now. He's rolled around for cuddles. So everywhere he rolls, he's just. The wings look amazing.
That's fine.
But
Just a big
it's
craft
like having a
project.
disco ball in the room.
Disco bat.
Disco bat. Yeah.
Disco
Bat
ball.
disco. Excuse me.
As you as you step into this next room, you realize that not only is it filled with all this amazing art, thank you very much to everybody in chat who's contributed. I love it. Everything that you've said is, the king is conducting a chorus of cherubim. I love it. There are skeletons in here once again. They are dusting. There are 2 skeletons, and they're both dusting. There is a door, once again, kind of the northwest, and one to northeast. But I mean, still deal with this.
Yeah.
Just making sure everyone knows what's going on in this room. You can continue role playing whatever the fuck's going on here.
Are you guys okay?
Are you okay? You're so fast.
No, you're very slow. Is this very fast to you? And
No.
Ara just starts tripping.
You can see like Randall's eyes lag like behind you.
Oh no. Okay. But do you feel okay? You just fast?
I feel
Unmove, just let's.
fine.
Oh.
What's she
Dingo,
on
we should Dorwich.
about?
Okay, so
I love this so much. I love this so much. Katie, you're doing excellent. Dogs, you're doing excellent. Jenny, fantastic. I love it. Oh, this is amazing. And it's for a good cause. Thank
There
you,
we
everybody who's
go.
donated so far.
Hey.
Oh my god. Also, I love the idea. Like, I'm picturing this. Like, imagine someone is speaking backwards, right? I'm already struggling trying to understand what Katie's saying, right? Okay, now imagine that at double speed. That's where Randall's going.
I'm glad it's in core watch it.
Oh, so good.
It's like that is it Missy Elliott, the Missy Elliott song where they took something and it's the like take that thing, now flip it and reverse it, and then she's like, it's mad but you yet. She actually like took something and reversed it and you have no idea
Is
what
that
she's
what
saying.
you did? Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
think so. That's what it sounds like
Can
because the
someone
inflection's
clip?
wrong.
Can someone clip Katie saying that really quickly? Oh, right, okay.
God.
I am speaking Simlish.
Yeah,
already.
very
That's
Simlish.
basically where we're at.
Right. Nerly, are you okay? You feeling alright? No? Do you know what you're saying is backwards?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, you do.
Okay, you know Randall's speaking slowly?
I'm not speaking slowly. You're speaking fast.
Stop, can't I? It's stop, can't I?
Clearly, it's talking nonsense.
It's not, can I? It's not, can I?
It just sounds like a bird.
I'm like a bird, I only speak backwards.
I love it.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm having so much fun. And it's all for a good cause.
In brackets at the end every time. Oh.
Down slow it is, Randall.
Okay. Okay. So you know Randall slow, Randall knows you're backwards. Alright. But everyone's fine, it's just magic things.
Just magic.
Just magic. Should we carry on with this place?
Backwards I know he think, don't I?
Aura's trying,
Go,
trying to
let's.
figure that out.
Go let's, go let's, go let's.
Docs is trying to figure that out.
I'm so happy.
Okay, let's go. Let's go into the room, I guess.
You got 2 options:
Hmm.
northeast and northwest. I apologize because the door is once again looking a bit. It's because like now it's been drawn, I can't like turn it properly. So I'm just gonna have to make it bigger and stretch it further.
Wow.
She said.
Question mark? There we go. That should work.
Said she, what's that?
Nugget gonna turn to a French fry. Nugget needs a roll on the wheel of shenanigans. True. Let's go for the northwest one.
Okay. I go knock
Okay.
on the door.
Okay. Once again, there is no response. And now I look like a corpse. Thank you, ever shifting lighting in my room.
Let's open that door.
What's behind?
What's
door number one?
behind? In this room. Once again, pinch of salt for the layout of the map. In a room
In
with
world.
a bunch of beds. There are a bunch of beds in here. The largest and most confusing one is a sarcophagus. There is a huge sarcophagus in the center of the room that has been co-opted and turned into a bed. It looks like it has been stuffed with kind of different cloths, some throw pillows and stuff that have been handmade. And they have been shoved in here to make it more comfortable. So it resembles a bed. On the floor are some neatly and never used bedrolls that have been, again, made by hand. Very poorly. They are kind of lining it in. They're kind of like just thrown around the place, around the outside of the room, around the outside of this sarcophagus.
Bedroom alike looks. Hear that, Wyatt's butt?
What was that last one?
I think we might have to slow you down just so we can understand you.
Hear that is why butt? And I point at the sarcophagus. Bedroom, it looks
But
like.
why is that
alike
there?
looks.
Okay. Actually, I don't know. I mean, weird.
Suddenly, this game has become a
looks
puzzle.
Yeah.
Like a
The
bedroom.
actual puzzle trying to figure out what the fuck Neurali is saying. I just point at the sarcophagus and go, why? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, I understand.
Why?
Yes. Okay.
I found a way to put limits on Katie's persuasive power, and that is by making her unable to speak properly.
Making other people unable to comprehend the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is there anything else in here that looks some kind of like personable? Like it's like someone's been
Yes.
here?
There is an end table at the end of the sarcophagus.
Does it have a glass of water on it?
There
Some
is
retainers.
a cup on it. There's a cup.
Is there something in the cup?
No.
Is there anything else on the table?
You can investigate it if you like.
I shall investigate it.
Weird.
Roll with advantage.
20.
Okay. So you kind of shuffle through some of its drawers and you kind of pull them open to have a look. And you can see that it has a bunch of different items that kind of have clearly not seen any use. You can see that there is a bunch of cups, just like a load of cups that have been in there. And there is, in one of the drawers, a bedpan. But you can see that this is kind of just like stuff. There's some spectacles on the side that don't have lenses in them. And it looks like there's just a bunch of stuff. It's a bit like if an alien was like, okay, well, this is what people do. Let's try and copy it. And they've just kind of mimicked what a bedroom would look like to the best of their abilities.
Okay. And that there's nothing else really personable in the room, just the bedside table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can see that the sarcophagus itself has an inscription upon it once again, and it just says "Kip Jester."
Oh. It was his sarcophagus?
Does it have a lid on it?
No, it's open, and in it is the bedding.
Oh.
So they've
Mummified, was
taken
he?
the lid was taken off, and the inside of it has been converted into a makeshift bed.
I look at Randall. Mummified, was he?
That's the most
I-
sensical thing she said.
Yeah. I don't know what mummies have to do with this.
He wasn't a mummy in your story, right? It wasn't like nothing came to that. Nothing like a mummy, right?
Oh, you're normal now.
I'm slowing myself down for you.
Oh. I don't recall anything about a mummy in that story. Come
Okay.
to think of it,
Okay.
Does the sarcophagus? Well, I don't know if I would know much about mummies. Actually, never mind.
You would know nothing.
Okay, just that they exist.
And barely even that, honestly, probably not.
Okay.
We have to reflect on your upbringing being
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
extremely
thinking.
excluded. Like it's
Yeah.
it's all I can see is the DMV sloth from Zootopia. Exactly.
it's my inspiration.
Wow.
It's not one of the many characters that I put in who've been obnoxiously slow.
yeah.
Everybody hates it.
Should we go to the other room?
Okay,
Let's go to the other room.
we should go to
So
the
I
other
think
room.
Okay.
Okay. We're doing the rat-a-tat-tat on the door, nobody answers situation.
Mhm.
Okay.
The one time we don't knock, there'll be people in there.
Yeah.
I have
Well, this room is populated. What you see in here is a large kitchen. There is a room that has previously been functional for something completely different, but has now been turned into a kitchen. You can tell this because it looks like the countertops and kind of the positions of things in the room look like they were previously display cases. But what has happened now is that there is a large crock pot in the center of it that has been cobbled together by various different metals and kind of smashed into the right place. It is over a small fire and it is bubbling away. There's a stew being made. The countertops are covered in vegetables. You can also see that there is some seaweed that's being dried on a rack, and you can see that there are various jars full of pickled foods. At the far south of the room, you can see that there is a kind of a makeshift fireplace. It does not look functional, but it looks like it has been made up to be kind of aesthetically pleasing. And you can also see that next to the fireplace is a loom at a safe distance if it were to be lit, a huge loom. You also notice that at the far end of this room are a bunch of windows, glass windows that look out to a patio, a decking area that is, from here that you can tell, filled with troughs that are laden with vegetables that are growing in soil. And that's what you can see from the outside. In this room,
normal slightly looks this.
I love it so much. In here are 4 more skeletons. These skeletons are shit. I feel like I must have said how many skeletons were missing from the crypt, and now I can't remember what the number is. It's the exact same number of skeletons in this building as were missing from the thing.
It was 7.
Oh wait, no, wait. Was it 7?
I think it was 7.
Okay.
Let me see
Right.
if I wrote it down. I have the distinct impression that it was 7, but I don't think I wrote it down.
So in this room are
6.
multiple skeletons.
Cool.
It's
6.
6. Okay.
Right.
And we've seen 3 so far. There are 3 skeletons in here. No, there are 2 skeletons in here.
Oh, there's one more skeleton somewhere.
2 skeletons! Get it right, Tom. Number of skeletons.
One
And 2
skeleton.
skeletons in here.
There are no skeletons.
And they are chopping vegetables with knives. Chopping vegetables. To the north, you can see that there is one more room. There's another door that leaves, and it doesn't appear that there is a door that leads directly onto the patio, at least from here. You can see out on the kind of patio outside. There are two individuals. One of them is a skeleton. The other one is a skeleton with a crown on.
Skeleton with a crown out there. Could it be Kip Jester himself?
Maybe.
Ask, could you?
This might be a good time for us to have a bio break. Midway through the day.
Okay. Bio
Bio break.
Okay. Bio break.
Bio
We shall
break.
have.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Off for the loo. Go for a try.
Go for a try,
Go for a
stretch.
Okay. Thanks again to everybody who's been making donations so far. You've made it extra fun.
Mhm.
And there's still some shenanigans on the list.
Oh.
Although if you don't use them, I might save them for the charity campaign. They wouldn't make very much sense for the charity campaign, but they make sense here. Anyway, bio break.
Me, I'm back first. Wow. Wow. Hello, anyone who hasn't gone to stretch. How dare you? How dare you go and stretch? Colouring on my webcam's all wrong. Ugh. Whilst we're in BL back time, let's spam some things. Came back and they all vanished. Hey, Richie, how you doing? What's the other one? Oh, join. I was checking. Oh. Listen, I know I'm the worst one, but jeez. If anyone else would want to, if anyone else streams and wants to join our team whilst we're fundraising for Yemen, then that last link is what you'll want. That'd be cool. But you know, whatever. Do whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy. Looks very. It's a jumpsuit. It's a jumpsuit. It's really cool. I got it secondhand. Eco-friendly and cool, and it makes me feel like a bit like a mom. I can't decide. He's back. Quick, don't talk about him. It's fine.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I need to put my headset on before I can sit down on the camera because I'm like, my hair looks so stupid.
Whatever. It is very comfy. That's the priority now in my life. Is it comfy? Excellent. That's all that matters.
I like your top. It looks very army.
Very army.
Look like you're in the military. I like it a lot though. I think it's really
Dicks.
good.
Just have
Imagine
Jenny cut
someone-
it, Tom.
Just have Jenny cut it. Social distancing.
Pretty far away. So-
I might be doing it. I'm probably gonna do it myself. I've persuaded myself to do it. I just don't have the tools,
Yeah.
and I'm nervous about it. So I'm gonna do it. I'm not quite there. But like the longer I leave it, then the longer I might as well leave it, because it's gonna get closer and closer to hairdressers opening. But I just know that they'll open and I'll be like, yeah, but I'm still gonna get a good chance of getting coronavirus going to one of them.
Yeah.
Like, just because they're open, that's me assuming that Boris Johnson knows what the fuck he's doing.
Which
And he doesn't.
Exactly.
Oh,
Old pro cosplay days, gotta live to get naked. Yeah, right.
getting naked to pee?
Yeah, because when you're in a jumpsuit, you can't like just. You gotta
The-
like unbutton up.
Are there not zips for at least the gentlemen? Or at least the people
No.
with penises?
No.
Or buttons?
No, it's not like a
Unbutton
baby
that bit.
romper that has like an easy thing to
It's like an
remove.
ass flap.
Yeah, not one of those.
I come back and I just hear it's like an ass flap.
Jesus. Stupid long hair.
Do you want me to send you a hair bubble? Or a clip?
I might still have some left over from people who've been here.
Look for bobby pins. I leave them behind me like some
Yeah,
kind
I
of-
was gonna say bobby pins are things I've collected in the past, but I might have thrown them out. So I'll have a look. But I was gonna hope to find, or like I was gonna buy some clippers and then just like get like the hair cutting scissors
Yeah.
and like some clippy things. Because I think the idea is, like I said before, it's like you get like a 6 or a 7 or whatever, and you just zip 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 to like here-ish
that
all the way
fade
around.
Mhm.
And then you fade it down, and then this bit you kind of just like try to like get
Pro
it
tip.
go very well.
Well, the thing is, like for the actual scissors cutting part, literally just decide how much you're going to take off, like how many centimeters. And every time you grab a section of hair, cut that many centimeters off that section. Then it doesn't matter like how
But how can I
the
sit here with a
varying
ruler
lengths.
at the same time?
You
Well,
just
just, like,
guesstimate like an
you-
inch.
Yeah, right.
So I thought
just
you used
use-
metrics. I'm all speaking in things that I don't understand. But
You think that we would? The world has this idea that we are an enlightened nation, like the rest of nation, like the rest of Europe, who use centimeters and meters and stuff. We don't really.
We're stuck
like-
in a fucking stupid middle ground.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Like everyone thinks that we use centimeters and meters, and we really don't. Really, like we kind of.
so you
use a
get
bit of
credit
both.
for being better than us, but you're not.
Yeah, but we're
actually
not.
better. Ah, good to know. So, but the thing is, like, it's hair, so it doesn't have to be exact. It just like you can measure by like if you have a comb, counting to whatever like tooth of your comb, and when you comb up that one little part, then you hold it with one hand. You measure to the right to the same spot of the comb every time, then hold your fingers where that spot is right above your fingers.
So,
and then
so
cut
what I
along
was
your
thinking
fingers.
of doing was just like grabbing it and then being like, oh, okay, I want to cut off to like I don't know here. That's like
hmm
however many centimeters up, or
Mhm.
however many fingers up, or like whatever. But we'll see how it
yeah,
goes.
yeah. However you do
Maybe
it is-
next week you'll see me and I'll have a brand new do, and I'll
I think-
look excellent.
I think you should
Yeah.
stream it.
Well,
Yeah.
and the like it doesn't matter what measurement you use as long as you do the same like
Mhm.
length all over your head, and the minimum like length that you're cutting off is like functionally able to be cut off of all the strands you're hand cutting, then
Mhm.
like you could have a really complicated style, and as long as you just cut the same amount of hair off each time, you're just going to get the same exact style you already had. So like just be methodical about it. You'll be all right.
No, I did it.
Can you not do that?
Fingers crossed. Well, if I cross my fingers, like that's pretty much as far as I can get, like naturally. But if
Can't do
if I push myself, then yeah, I can do that. But innately, it's just
Can you cross your other fingers as well?
Yep.
no.
Yes.
I mean, I can if I just, if I do that, then sure, yeah, whatever. But doing it on their own. Anyway,
Watch this,
Dungeons
though.
and Dragons.
Can you do this though? It's like a right angle.
Oh.
I don't know how well you
Oh,
can
not
tell
that
in the
far.
camera. Yeah. I can literally like point
Mhm.
sideways.
No.
Yes.
I have weird joints.
Can you do that?
Oh, I can do
Read
that.
them independently.
And this one.
Oh yeah. Docs, can you do it?
Wait, what?
I can also do this.
Can't do it very quickly, but I can.
Oh, I can't do that. No, I can't do that.
Double jointed.
Tom's fear in his eyes.
Wait, I didn't see that. What was that? I missed it.
I just tried to imitate it. I was just like, why am I weird
Oh, I
grabby
can't.
motion? Bye, Richie. Have a good stream.
Bye.
Can you do the live long and prosper? Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
I can do it, but it doesn't look very big on this side.
I can switch.
We're all a bunch of fucking weirdos. Is
Yep.
what I got out of this. I'm glad that we're on the same page here, Fobbs. Hey, Carl.
I can
Right. Yes.
This
so, okay,
thing
we'll
is
get back to
actually
our
a
game.
detriment because I'm double jointed and your fingers get locked. And when you're playing an instrument, sometimes they'll get locked and you're like, I don't know, please press the
Ooh.
key.
Hmm.
I've had that occasionally, and like the tips of my fingers, and it is unpleasant.
Mm. Anyway,
Anyway, yes.
You and boys
so
are
we
weird.
Are,
Yeah.
We are playing Doombans and Dabbins. Doombans and Dabbins time.
Garbage.
As we return to the game, I will once again remind us that we are raising money for the Yemen humanitarian crisis. Exclamation mark Yemen, exclamation mark donate or whatever. I don't know what the things are. And if you want to, you can join Jenny's stream team of
Yeah.
people who are raising money.
Mhm.
For £5, £5 Great British pounds. I'm clarifying that just in case anyone was like,
Or
I'm all
equivalent.
$5. It's you get a spin on the wheel of shenanigans. So far, we've had hair reversal. We've had sneezing confetti. We've had having to speak in
word
reverse.
reversal.
Yeah, and we've got Randall is currently experiencing the world at half speed. So
currently
those are
16.
the,
Sorry.
those are-
Karen.
sorry, what? Oh,
No,
okay. But there are a bunch of other cool ones that I kind of hope happen because it's going to be interesting. But anyway, we have raised a butt ton today alone, and Jenny's raised even more on her own. So, right. Anyway, back to the game. In this room, you can see that there are a bunch of skeletons, 2 skeletons, chopping vegetables. There are 2 skeletons out on the patio that you can see in the distance. It is a very dark night at the moment. You arrived in the evening. It's transitioned into nighttime, which is convenient because I chose the nighttime map. And you realize that this is a functional kitchen / living / loom room, Weaver's Paradise. And you can see that on the patio appears to be some kind of garden or place to grow vegetables.
Mm-hmm. So despite knowing that Randall has just mentioned the skeleton with the crown, I am staring off at this big, wonderful, it's a functional loom and it looks like it's in good condition, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I mean,
like-
it looks like it has been homemade and it's not especially well made, but it's functional.
Okay.
It's absolutely functional.
So I'm kind of like staring at it and I'm like, works loom this if wonder I?
We can't worry about that right now. There's a skeleton with a crown out there.
Is a non-functional kitchen even a kitchen? If you go to IKEA or something.
Every room is a non-functional kitchen. It's really motivational. That should be on one of the art
But
pieces.
what about a functional kitchen? That's not a non-functional kitchen.
Still
Should
unfunctional.
be any room that's not a kitchen is a non-functional kitchen.
Shit.
Shit. And is the door over at the top there of the map? Is that where the door is to the
Yep.
outside? Or I assume outside.
Yes.
Should we go and try and speak to King Skeleton?
Does the king skeleton look any different to any of the other skeletons?
Yes, he has a crown
Okay.
on.
Other than that,
You can see that they are wearing a kind of a gown, like a ceremonial gown. That, if you were to take a guess, would be something that you might dress a monarch in, perhaps on their deathbed.
right? Okay.
You can see that they are taller than the others, and that they are, kind of standing back, admiring the view, kind of also just watching this skeleton tend to some vegetables.
Maybe the king is also animated. Might not be able to speak.
And mask, could we?
What did she say?
And now, don't put the impetus on Jenny to translate.
Him
Stressful enough
ask-
listening
Yeah.
to this as it is.
Him ask, could we?
We could ask.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's try
Step.
going.
Step.
Okay, so you're pushing open this door to the north end.
You're stepping slowly and saying step. Step.
Randall has just gone through the first door.
Fuck's sake. God.
Okay. In the room above you.
Step.
You can see that this is a library. All good buildings have a library in fantasy worlds, and this one has a whopper of a building. However, as you can see already from the room, it is not just a library. It appears to be a functioning
Kitchen.
throws the word around a lot. There is a magical circle in the center of the room that has candles lit, chalk lines with all sorts of arcane sigils, and next to it is a big old open book, big old open grimoire.
Is it a black grimoire?
It is a black grimoire.
Excellent.
Circle summoning? Circle summoning?
Did we not see a circle in Giorgio's basement room?
Give me a perception check.
Give you a perception check.
Ask him what every book says. Oh, you weren't here last time we did that because we ended up with a lot of erotica.
Magic in common are circle summoning, but yes.
Docs, you've got a D6 as well, just in case you wanted to use that as a reminder.
I'm gonna use that. I have used it.
Oh, good roll. Okay, you will identify that this is not a similar circle to the one that you saw in Giorgio's basement. Obviously, you are not a spellcaster, so you will not understand what Neurali just said, which was essentially summoning circles, etc. Like this. This kind of thing is quite common in ritual magic.
Magic.
It's essentially a really good way for a DM to be like, magic done here.
Boy.
Magic in common are circles. Magic in common are circles. Magic in common are circles.
As you can see, on the far side of the room is a display case behind the book and the circle between two bookshelves. This display case has it's a kind of big, quite vertical display case, big glass surrounding it, has a odd-looking precious stone in it. There is a gem that is kind of on a like raised. You know how in like big fancy diamonds that are on show in museums and stuff might have like a couple of like the pizza tables, but without the table part. It's just like,
Yes, that's what they use in those fancy
pizza
exhibits.
tables.
You get a pizza table.
And that's what they've got for the large precious stone here. It is a deep purple with flecks of green about it. As you stare at it, you can see that it shifts slightly in its colors. It kind of moves, but it's hard to tell whether or not that's a trick of the light, especially because you are in quite dim lighting in this area. There are candles that are lit, but it is nighttime and there's just candles.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I feel? I know like this whole place is kind of like bathed in magic, but if that like has a particular aura to it,
You absolutely can, yes.
woo, with my 0 Arcana, 16.
Okay. You don't have proficiency in this?
Not an Arcana,
No. Okay.
and I'm
So-
not super bright.
The lack of proficiency. I want to kind of add this to my DMing style. I want to feel like someone who is proficient, the outcome of their rolls will give different information to someone who is not proficient. Because someone being trained in something will give them very different information from someone who has not been trained in it. If we have someone who's proficient in it but rolls lower than someone who isn't proficient in it, it seems odd for someone who is proficient to do worse than someone who's got no fucking idea.
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't even make the roll if I weren't a caster. I'm like, I've had to
no,
understand
for sure.
magic
Yeah,
at
yeah.
some point. But yeah, if I were playing
Exactly.
like a fighter, I wouldn't.
I
Even
would
make
also-
Arcana checks.
I would give you different rolls depending on
Yeah.
whether or not you're a caster, etc. So with a 16, without being proficient in Arcana, it's difficult to get any kind of aura from any of the magic in this room, but just because it's so pervasive everywhere, it's quite different. It's a bit like if you had a bag of Skittles and you grabbed just a bunch of them and put them all in your mouth at the same time, rather than selecting individual Skittles. You wouldn't get this flavor or this flavor. You just get whatever the fuck it is when it's all combined, which is just tasty sugar. Sponsor us, Skittles.
A secret about Skittles:
They all taste the same.
they're not flavored. They're scented.
Oh,
If you
but
pinch
that's
your nose and you eat them, they all taste exactly the same.
But that's true of so many things.
yeah. I think that's not.
We're opening a door here.
I was just like, we're all gonna have this discussion where we all come up with the exact same conclusion and everyone agrees anyway. There's no point. Right. So that's what you have in front of you. You have a library, a magic circle, a large black grimoire that is open, and a display case that has a large precious crystal in it. There is also a door to the east, which unfortunately you can't properly see. It's there because I didn't draw the line properly, and it's like this. Boop, 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 boop. You know what? You don't need the line there. You know what's out there. You saw through the window. It's fine.
Fuck the line.
So
Doesn't
I
pinching your nose
like
affect your tasting? Yes, it does.
it does.
But we're all going to agree.
Slam.
We're all going to agree.
Close the door on that one.
Smell is a large component in tasting. It happens with lots of things. It's an interesting tidbit. We're okay.
Everyone is kind of like looking at different things around the room and is like talking about different stuff. And I've been trying to like sense the if there's anything unique about the stone. And like while the conversation's going on, I just kind of stop and I go, overwhelmed bit our senses that my magic was permeated, so has placed this hole.
I know, right?
Oh,
Same.
hashtag mood.
Nerdy, can you make that sentence smaller, please?
Magic much too.
I just love the thinking face. I feel like I'm sorry to Katie. I'm sorry, Katie, for putting this on you, but at the same
No.
time, you're doing so well with it. That it's honestly, it's perfect for you because it's like a challenge and it's really entertaining.
Yeah, she just thinks for a second and is like, magic much too. Much too.
Got it.
Phil can't.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So many books. And Randall just starts slowly like marching towards the bookcases.
Be careful, Randall. Be careful.
It's
like
like
you're
the
walking through syrup.
Slow motion running.
Yeah, Baywatch running.
To Randall, he's going really quickly. To everyone else, it's just like
Use my dash action to move at normal speed.
Yep.
Okay. You arrive at the bookshelves.
10 minutes
spend the
later.
next
What did
hour
you,
reading the titles.
the thinking face that you made, involved a lot of. Would you like to investigate the bookshelf?
Yes.
Okay, please roll me an investigation check.
Okay. But I don't have disadvantage anymore, right? Because I already did
Correct.
that.
You had the one. Yeah.
I'm looking with a 2.
I wasn't sure whether that was the end of the sentence because now I have to wait extra time for you.
Right.
To...
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I forgot I made that a thing.
Okay, so on your investigation, you find that the majority of the books in this room appear to be about Kip Jaster, unsurprisingly. And one of them in particular catches your eye and you start leafing through it. And it's essentially the exact same story that you already knew. But you do it at such a slow pace. Investigating the other books in the room doesn't even cross your mind because everything is just... For everyone else, they're just getting frustrated watching you.
What does page 69 on the third book on the left say? That's what we want.
Hey.
Hey. Right.
Nice.
Long time ago. A long time ago.
Whilst Randall is obviously taking his sweet time looking at books on one side, can I look at the other side? Can I just look?
Yes, you
try
can.
and
Feel free to draw an investigation roll.
I still have one more advantage as well. 15.
Okay. You can tell that you're going through it at a much faster pace, and you're just. Whereas Randall's appreciation for reading and books is kind of a bit more comprehensive and thorough, you're looking for headlines, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for the important things. So as you're going through,
yes,
as you're looking through, you find that there are a couple of different books that are kind of like self-help guides. A couple of them that look a bit like one in particular says how to weave and sculpting for dummies.
Not like how to be more like Kip Jaster. How to be happy like Kip Jaster.
There are two of those.
How to gain influence, or how to gain friends and influence. What is that book?
Yes.
How to gain friends and influence people.
Okay. Yeah, that influence people. That's what it is.
Pink Goblin.
Your sword, the enemy's insides, and you.
Whoa. I read that book. Wait, the sword, the enemy's inside in you, or the actual book? There's some books about like self-help stuff, like trying to learn how to weave and things.
Interesting.
Does I want to have a look at. Wait, no. I'll say this out loud first. But like, should we have a look at the book that's on there? Is that a good idea? Do you remember?
I'll say this out loud so that someone can stop me if it's a bad idea.
Randall slams the book he's reading closed.
Cover the just.
Spins very slowly. No.
Okay, that's why I was asking.
Remember the mushroom.
Yes, that's what. Yes,
man.
that's what I was about to say. The mushroom man. Yes.
Cover the just, maybe. cover just
Okay, yeah.
maybe.
Okay.
Oh, look
Hey, Bodman.
at it.
I won't look at it. Okay. Should I just try and close the book to read the title? Is that okay?
Close.
Randall seems to say no.
Close.
Okay. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna close it.
Close the book. Okay. What you are looking at matches the criterion for Necronomicon. This is a book that probably only Randall would recognize the name of. Again, with respect to Nerili's sheltered upbringing and Oro's kind of complete lack of understanding of Arcana beyond kind of divination stuff and the little spell knowledge that she has of her own.
While she's looking at it, though, just because Randall's so slow, I am going loud out, don't say. Loud out, don't say.
Okay, yeah.
Randall will recognize that the Necronomicon or Necronomicons are books that are kind of supposed to kind of instruct people with how to interact with the dead in various ways. Whereas in some settings, there will be like one Necronomicon, or a Necronomicon is a huge magical item of insane power. This appears to be a cheap knockoff.
It's not a first edition.
It's definitely not a first edition. This is quite tatty. There's quite a lot missing of it, pages as well as passages that have just kind of worn away with time. But it looks like it's like you as a historian know of the Necronomicon series.
Big fan.
This is volume 12. It kind of took a dive
after the first book. But Nerili might be able to piece together from you being able to say, "Oh, this is this looks like it's some kind of Necronomicon." Nerili, with your help, to kind of say, "Oh, this is classically a novel, a instructional manual for interacting with the dead." Nerili would be then, "Oh, okay," and could investigate the book a little bit further. Just from interacting with magical media, spell scrolls, spell books, etc. in her past, she will recognize that this looks of a lower quality compared to others. She might get more if she were to read the insides.
But Randall makes it clear to me that this isn't the official one. This isn't the thing that I'm going to read and accidentally turn into a mushroom kind of thing, because it's like a cheap knockoff.
Well, the limit of his description will be something along the lines of, this looks like something that would match a Necronomicon, of which I've heard in my stories, which would be an instructional manual for interacting with the dead. And then you looking at the cover when it's closed and the way that it's kept, and just in comparison to books that you have read, it looks like a cheap ripoff, kind of like terrible brand in comparison to whatever.
Gotcha.
Randall also didn't know about books like that until we met Mushroom Man.
Oh, I see. I think that I would have heard about really special magic books, but not like necessarily known. It might have been one of those things where like I was learning about magic. They were like, and there are these really cool books, but we'll get to that later, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So if I'm looking at it and I'm like, this doesn't look like what I would think would be like the important thing or a very important thing, it looks like a cheap knockoff, then I'm just gonna like open up like the cover and just look at like the first page, but I won't say anything out loud as I'm reading it or trying to read it.
Okay. So from investigating the book, just first cover, etc., and the cover and looking on the inside.
Yeah, and it's like as each page is not dangerous, then I'll kind of like flip until something starts to look dangerous and I don't want to read it or something.
Sure. So looking through this, it looks like it matches the description that that Randall would have given you along the lines of this looks like it's some kind of instructional thing. Once again, it's quite poorly written. There are parts missing. That's the best you get.
Okay. Copy. Made poorly.
Perhaps that explains the poor skeletons.
Beginner? Beginner, probably. Beginner,
Yes.
probably. We should? We take?
Yes, we should. But we need to be careful still.
I'm going to close it and give it to Randall.
Shit.
As you do so, the door to the east opens, and in front of you is the crowned skeleton.
No.
Hello. I'm a keeper jester.
Hello.
My loyal subjects are here. Hello. I am so happy to see you. And he comes over and he just grabs the nearest person and gives them a very big hug. Who is probably nobody, but she was interacting with the book and giving it to
Oh yeah, I guess I'm
Randall,
over here because
but
the book.
Oro was also looking at the books. Probably Randall then. Which is even better because he doesn't get he's too slow to react.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
So the skeleton, clickety clackety clickety clack, comes over to you and embraces you. Your face is in a rib cage, and you use the kind of like the worn old velvet of this ceremonial death garb kind of rubs up against you, and you can see just into the depths of his like spine.
Sexy.
And he embraces you and then lets go and is like, "Oh, there are some living people."
Far too
You are
late.
all so glad to be here. Hello.
I just I point at one of the other skeletons and I just go, "Why?"
Why? Why what?
Them rays you did, why?
Them raised did I. What is going on with her?
What?
Do you speak a weird language now?
What? She's asking why you raised them.
You speak normal.
Well,
Why I raised? I got bored.
oh, you got bored. Okay.
Come with me. And he kind of walks into the cooking area, into the kitchen, the functional kitchen. And he leads you in. He says, "I'm trying cooking."
Wow. Are you learning lots of things?
And he walks over and he takes a bowl of the stew, skeletal hand, bowl, ladle, sloop, and he hands it to you.
Oh no, thank you. I'm full.
Take it.
I'll hold it, but
Take the stew.
I'll hold it.
And then he pours one for each of you, realizing that Randall is taking his sweet ass time. And he gets some for himself, and he gets some, and he drinks into it. And you see that it goes into his kind of jaw and just kind of pours itself onto the floor between them. Glug glug! Oh, it tastes stew.
Yeah. Seems like
It taste you can?
No, I am dead.
Why then?
Because you die, you stay 100 years, plus 100 years being on the island on your own. You get boring. I miss being alive. I missed company. So I get my friends.
Who raised you?
Well, that is a good question. I think it is a bit weird. I tried to make myself alive. But I did a shit job because I am very bad.
You raised yourself?
Nope. I tried to. Well, I was a king many 100 years ago. I tried to get so that I would not die. But I did not win because I am not very good at the magics. As you can see. He points to the skeletons who are now kind of chopping the same board. There's nothing down underneath it. They're just hitting chop, chop, chop. They're not chopping vegetables.
We got like
Just
started
the
chopping through
countertop.
their like onto their hand.
No, stop that!
This seems like a Robert the Tea Time. Illegal.
When I was getting old and I knew I was going to die, I was trying to make sure that when I died, I could do stuff. But I can't do stuff. I got myself self-help books. And I tried to make myself live forever. But it didn't work.
Oh.
But here I am, 100 years later.
Are these your friends?
He pushes one and it falls over into bones.
I'll take that as a no.
They were my friends when they were alive,
Oh.
but they are just husks. Husks of people.
I'm holding the bowl of stew and I'm not eating it, and I kind of like turn to Oro and Randall and kind of like, you know when you like speak out of the side of your mouth and you're like, well, I don't know about this or something like that. That's the kind of tone. And she's like, much for him like don't people I understand. I think
Yes. I think I got that. Maybe you shouldn't be raising these skeletons from the graveyard. People are concerned about the bodies that are missing.
It's okay. I don't need to anymore. You're here.
I mean, for like another
It's been a
5
long
minutes.
time without any loyal subjects. But you are.
I mean, we've got things that we need to go to.
It's okay to want to be the best subject you ever want to be. So come with me. And he walks through back into the room with all the beds. First, he does pause to try. He tries to resemble one of the poses of the art in the art room as he passed through the portraits. And he does a pose of like the one where he was like, there's a photo of him with like his shirt torn off and he's like posing with his hair, and he does this next to it. And look, it's me. And he walks into the makeshift bedroom and he says, "You can sleep here.
No, we've got.
And you'll stay here forever. I even have the human feeds." And he points to your stew. Eat it up.
forever live.
Yeah.
Moonlight eternal of lands beyond to past who want you did not. Did you not? Not did you?
What?
She's a lot. I don't know what's going on here, but it's weird. He sees into the other room as you're passing. He's confetti.
Yeah, some weird shit's been happening.
You realize now that you've passed through the rooms that you've been like walking through, that the gnomes are still here staring at you.
Oh, but they didn't continue to follow us.
Oh, they continued following you. I just forgot to mention them.
Do you know anything about these gnomes?
No. I do many things, but I sculpt me, not gnomes.
Or did you do the sculptures in the other room?
You're damn right, I did. They're great, don't you think?
They are. Well done.
Thank you very much, loyal subject.
No.
He puts his hand out, of which you can see there is a bejeweled ring upon his finger. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy in front of your king.
Help.
I'd love to. However, I kind of like at this point she's getting like she understands what's happening and it's like frustrating not to be understood. And so she's just kind of like trying to think of ways to say things super simply so that they come across well. And she just gestures around her. She's like, magic, wild, magic, stray, grow, bad be good.
Okie dokie. Anyway, make sure to come over here. Have some human food. I made some human food for the living people. You can eat it up.
She's saying the wild magic is bad, right? Yeah.
I
Because
don't know what you're talking about. No wild magic here.
I gesture at the confetti on the ground and at like myself.
You guys are silly.
Speak can't magic.
Okay.
Yeah, there's. I mean,
Like magic. Do you want to see my magic stuff?
Yes.
Come on over.
Give on.
And it brings you back to the room with the grimoire.
Come on down. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Sorry, go ahead.
Cape show.
Is this Tom's American accent?
I feel like this accent is how Danish people make fun of Norwegians. This is how Danish people say Norwegian people sound like, and I am here for it.
It's not an accent. It's a voice. It's not an accent. It doesn't reflect any real countries.
No, absolutely not.
The other day, I can't remember who I was talking about. I was saying how when I was in Texas, I used my Texas accent in that shop that we were in.
And people were like convinced.
Yeah, people were convinced.
You fooled the Texans, Tom. Like, it's okay.
And I think it was maybe Gabs or someone I was saying this to, and she was not convinced at all. She was like, "There's no way that happened. You're making that up." And I'm like, "No, the Texans thought I was Texan."
Send her to me. Can confirm.
Okay. So he brings you back here and he says, "This is my magical book. Please don't touch it." At this point, I would say that he came through the door whilst you were mid handoff, and I assume you as a way of it, don't touch my book, and the book went down. If you want to interact with it again, that's down to you.
No, if my intention was to hand it to him and then he walked in, I definitely would have been like.
It sounds very stereotypical of Swedish and slips to Hindi a bit here and there. Well, there was no intention of it. It's not a real accent, but also the accents that I emulate in any way, I always try to make sure that I'm taking the mick out of white people because I'm allowed to do that. Because we all have dumb accents. Anyway, so he's like, "This is my book. It makes all the skeletons. He's made some skeletons really like that one." And he points out to outside onto the patio, and you can see that there is a skeleton there with a makeshift watering can, watering some of the vegetables. And as he does so, out of nowhere, a giant eagle with two heads appears, flapping its giant feathered wings, and with its talons, it grabs the skeleton and flies off into the distance.
Oh.
Magic string.
Look!
What was that?
My friend! Derek! Good David! And he walks out onto the patio. Bring it back!
Hoping that the eagle comes back. Have you seen that before?
No! It's coming over here taking my skeletons.
Wow, that's terrible.
Heads
That
two.
is a terrible.
Heads two. Magic. Stray.
Two.
Magic stray.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
I don't like this place anymore.
I know you're saying how much you love my place. It's great. I'm so glad for you to stay here forever.
No.
Do you want to start getting ready doing all the stuff that my subjects do? Make me a salad.
I want you didn't. Why?
What the fuck?
Why?
This one appears to be broken.
You broke you. Magic.
I didn't break anything. You're talking crazy talk. But I'm glad you're here and you love me. It is now slowly going into my clown voice.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I was like, clown? Hello?
I just look at Oro and I'm like, him ask. Die once, didn't. Why? Him ask.
Why didn't he die?
Want.
Why didn't he want to die? Why didn't you want to die?
Die in a circus. I'm a king. I can do whatever I want. You would die?
No, you do. How? How? No. No. How?
How do you know?
I know lots of stuff. Like making vegetables. And looming. Weaving.
Looming.
Died never you?
I died when I was very old. I tried to cast a spell to make sure that I would live forever. It didn't work because I died.
Happened what?
Then, like 100 years later, I woke up. And I was really bored. It's slipping deep into American now.
That's
I
fair.
need to do more stereotypical Central European stuff.
Central European.
Okay, make me a salad.
No.
Beliefs? No? No
Hey,
beliefs? No?
hey, would you look at that? Sleepiest donated £10 and said, please let everyone talk normal. Please.
Have you actually just taken £10 to make
Yeah,
this
no,
go
I
away?
did, yeah. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Suddenly, you realize that the hold that the magic had over you has relaxed somewhat.
Define somewhat for me.
For you, it means that your ability to speak is returned.
Okay.
It also means that Randall can now interact at a normal speed.
Normal. Okay.
Whereas Oro's hair is now receding. It's not gone yet.
No. Just growing attached to this. No.
Grown attached. How do you know? How do you know? How do you
No,
know?
wait.
How do you know what death is like?
But I died.
But you had cast magic, so you didn't really die. You're here now.
Well, now I've done more magic. I knew that the spells I did were bad. They didn't work. It wasn't my spells that made me get big.
What made you like this?
He points at the crystal at the far side of the room.
Does that crystal look anything like the crystal we've seen before? From
Which crystal are you referring to?
the one in the goblin den thing when we killed that big dude and then what's her face Thistle came with
Yes.
a thing. Yes, Jenny remember.
It is. It does not look like it is the same same type of crystal. It's definitely not in the same formation. It's not the same texture or material, but the color that is running through it is exactly the same. As you see as you look at it, you can kind of see that it kind of starts to, like the purple, like the colors in it are moving a little bit like ink in water. So it's kind of like it was. It looks like there are two liquids in this crystal, as if it were two liquids. It's not, but if it were, the colors are shifting in a manner that looks as if there are two liquids in it. One of them is green, and it is significantly less prominent, and the more prominent color is purple. It's like there's two different liquids in there of different like weights or whatever.
Oil and water,
for example, but it's a lot more intertwined than that. Oil and water separates quite obviously, whereas this is kind of
like water and salt water.
Yes. There you go. Water and salt water. Sure.
That's the thing.
That used to be green.
When was it green?
When I got it.
When did you get it?
I wasn't always a king.
Oh.
Back in my day, I used to be an adventurer, just like you.
Wow.
I saved a big old pretty lady. Fuck. Proper gone to American then.
That was really more like
It was fine until
Arkansas.
someone mentioned the American. A pretty lady. I saved me a pretty lady. No. I saved me a pretty lady. And she gave me a crystal. And the crystal made me very lucky.
Oh.
I like to gamble. And I gambled my way into a fortune. I got myself a fortune, and I won. I made myself very rich. So I bought loads of places.
Oh.
And I made myself a king.
Oh.
what did she look like?
She was the most beautiful woman in the world.
Can you be more descriptive?
She was like a tree person.
Did she?
And I kind of like vaguely describe, not vaguely, like I describe, oh my god, I've just forgotten her name.
Thistle.
Thistle. I describe
They should
Thistle,
stab
but
you.
it's like this tall, this color hair, this kind of like, you know.
That's
whatever.
her. But she was just a little baby when I found her.
She was a baby.
She was very young.
And she gave this to you?
She was a little teenage girl, and she gave me this for saving her. It made me very lucky.
Wow.
Did Oro mention that the way that this looked like the other crystal that she pulled out? Because I think Nerly's been too flustered to like think of it. Well, I know she thought of it, but did you mention it to us?
Say after Kip said it, I'd be like, wait, that looks similar to the crystal that we've seen from Thistle before.
But didn't she pull it out of him?
Yeah. What color was it when we saw it when we saw it?
When you saw it last, it was this kind of dark purple, inky color. But when you saw Thistle interact with it, if you recall correctly, the orc that you were fighting had this kind of delayed ink swell kind of pattern that was going behind his attacks and that kind of thing, and that same effect was happening for the gem, in this kind of dark black purple color that was going behind it, and the crystal shape item that she pulled from his chest, whilst it looked very different in description and in physical nature to the crystal that you've got in front of you, it was the same color. And it had the same kind of inky properties of it, which is what you see. The similarity is the color, and it's not something that you've ever seen anywhere else.
Color and texture, but not shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
How big is the crystal?
It's pretty sizable. It's kind of, you'd have to have quite a sizable pouch to wear it, or to have it on your person.
Right.
and it's got its own display case. Like it's kind of like the size of a fist.
When she took the one out of the orc's chest, did it change at all, or did it stay all like purple and inky, and then she just disappeared? I know she disappeared pretty quickly, but like, did it change when she touched it? Did we see it turning green or anything? And we might not.
The
have,
only
like,
time
noticed it.
that it changed was you realize when she was holding it, it was burning her hands,
Mhm.
and that it seemed to react to the presence of Randall.
I'd forgotten that part.
Mm-hmm.
What did it do to react to Randall's presence?
It just seemed that the inkiness had kind of got aggravated and started to move more exaggeratedly.
Okay. Randall, go stand closer to that stone. Jim.
Okay. I'm gonna be a bit cautious. It's like sidestep around Kip.
Okay.
And get near the case, but like maybe like reach a hand out to it so I don't burn my
Sure.
face off.
It does not react to you anyway.
When did it start having green in it? When did it start changing?
When I woke up, it was not green anymore.
Wait, when you woke up from being dead for 100 years.
That's right.
I wonder if she's given out something that is corruptible by the presence of non. We established that we know she's a Fey creature, right? Or from the Feywild, or that we think that.
That's not. I mean, you've out of character.
But not in character.
Discussed
Okay.
that in character. There's nothing that's your characters have that can link her to any kind of Feywild
Okay.
situation.
Maybe whatever magic she possesses or what kind of creature she is can handle these things, but when they come into contact with normal people, they're corrupted or plagued in some way.
Maybe.
Both seem to prolong life after death. This is.
It's my lucky stone.
What do you think's going to happen when the green parts are all gone?
I don't want to think about it.
That's how I
Let's
deal with
just
my
make-
problems.
Lots of human food. What's your favorite human food? Disciple number 1. Points at Jenny. What's your favorite human food?
No longer subjects, but disciples. That's very different.
That's just Tom Brain. Don't worry about that. Subject number 1.
Pizza.
We can make a pizza.
Great. I don't think we'll be
Subject
here.
number 2. Points at Randall. Make a pizza.
Oh,
Chip chip as he claps bone against bone.
I don't know what a
Clack,
pizza
clack,
is.
more like.
Is that some kind of circus food?
Subject number 1. Describe a pizza.
Wait, me? Is that me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta make a pizza. You know what? You guys make a pizza. I'm gonna sit over here. And he just goes to the other side of the room and just kind of watches.
What you do you not want to help?
I'm a king. I don't cook food.
I thought you wanted to learn to cook because you were bored.
I know how to cook.
And
I'm
what's a
mean at
pizza?
it.
So you wanted to raise.
Did you just say I want some pizza?
No, then what's a pizza?
Oh.
Is that I
Oh, then what's a pizza? And it sounds made up to me.
So you raised other skeletons from the dead just to do work for you that you don't care about?
I was bored. I wanted company. I was very lonely. But now you're here.
We can't stay here forever.
Yes, you can, because you're my subjects.
No.
Yeah, no,
Yes, you can.
No.
no.
You're gonna stay here, because I'm a king.
people are upset about you taking the bodies of their loved ones.
They're my
Especially-
loved ones.
But you have to ask permission and get permits and things.
No, I
for
don't,
stuff
because
like
I'm a
this.
king.
Well, the thing about being a king is that once you die, you're not a king anymore.
But I'm dead.
Right.
And now I'm undead. Back to being a king. Points to his crown.
I don't think it works like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I make the rules because I'm the king. So don't
But-
worry.
They're sent.
Loyal subject.
They sent us here to find out what was going on because bodies.
Well,
were going
now you
missing.
know.
And if they sent us, then they'll send others who might not be as nice.
And you'll defend me because you are my loyal subject. You see him kind of gesture a hand, and as he does so, the door from the library to the patio closes slowly.
I'm starting to get the impression why people didn't like him very much.
Everybody loves me. I'm the best king ever.
That's not what the stories say. That's right.
Get into the library and find one book that says I was a bad king.
In your own library?
Yeah?
I feel like
How
that's
many of them
quite
were written by
biased.
you?
Did you write those books?
Nope.
Are you
These are
lying?
real books by real people.
Did you pay someone to write them?
No.
Did you make them write them for free then?
These books were written for blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Because those aren't the stories that are known about you. In fact, most people don't even think you exist.
What?
They don't think you're a real person. Think you're
The
a
people have
children's
for-
story.
The people have forgotten my story.
Yes, so go back to your rest. I have
No.
found something.
Listen,
Although,
you're gonna be my subjects, even if you're shit ones.
you know, I could make sure that
Bone. Door to the library now shuts. The door to the arts rooms behind you shuts. Make me a pizza. I will leave today's session there because doing this voice is tiring. I'm running low on juice.
theatre.
Maybe we do.
That's the climactic ending.
Oh,
Is
shit.
Man.
Boosh.
make me a pizza.
Beautiful.
Right.
Hell
GG's everybody. That was today's session.
yeah.
What a good
Good.
sesh.
Whew. Me oh my.
More like crust hanger, am I right?
Oh.
Phil said pizza cliffhanger. It's a crust hanger.
Uh-huh.
I think we are up to date. Yeah, we're up to date with all of the rewards.
Mhm.
Thank
We're
you,
still
everyone. Who
we're still
donated.
fundraising until the 29th, so technically we've still got next D&D session if it's happening. If you want to, Tom, just say it.
I think it might be difficult to shoehorn the I've got this kind of somewhat makes sense.
It could not make sense. This is a table of shenanigans.
True. I might have to think of other shenanigans.
I could think of some shenanigans.
But I like to make sure that since they're in our main game,
I know.
they make sense. I'll put some thought in to make sure that we can do stuff. But either way, we raised big bucks today.
Hell
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
everybody
yes,
who
thank you.
donated. And also thanks to Jenny for donating to
Stop the talking.
to undo the talking
Ah.
so that we don't have to deal with that again next week.
True.
Unless we keep this table and someone rolls for it again.
Please don't.
I feel like if anyone else gets the talking backwards thing, they're just not going to talk anymore.
That's one of the risks of using the talking backwards thing. And that's kind of like when I rolled it and I was like, no, this needs to go to Katie.
So, and I don't know if you remember this, but last year when we did the normal charity game thing, when Tom and I were like workshopping different like reward options, he was like, what if they could donate whatever amount it was? It's like, and we had to say everything backwards because he had found a website where you could type stuff in and it didn't just like flip the word order, it flipped the letters. And I was like, Tom, I'm dyslexic. I cannot. There is no way that I'm going to be able to do this.
I do remember this. I remember.
And you're like, okay, never mind.
But I also remember being like, I remember we went on to say we could do it with a reverse order and we could give them the link to that website.
Yeah.
But then I was like, but then people won't.
Yeah.
Won't talk,
Then
especially
people-
because it's different when you're doing the charity streams as well, because you're bringing in people that you don't necessarily play a lot of D&D with, like you don't know them super well and how they're going to do it. I knew that if I did that, I could give it to Katie and she'd definitely do it. I can give it to you guys and you probably do it, but I know that it's a lot more pressure if you're not gonna, if you're not confident with the idea.
Yeah.
And I knew from having discussed this with Katie previously last year that I could probably give you the backwards one. Not flipping the words, but the order. I knew the order would probably be fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
I find that like by the time I've thought of the thing I want to say and then worked out how I'm supposed to say it, that it's like not relevant anymore and everything's moved on. It's like I
Yeah.
never keep up.
I was like furiously typing out what I wanted to say so that I could read the words backwards. And even then, sometimes my brain couldn't quite do it, and I would say a word in the wrong order, and then like would merge two words together, and I'm like, that's fine because it's probably hard to understand what I'm saying anyway. So it's just it's fine.
It's toughy.
Yeah.
It's toughy.
But that's how the like singing for 5 minutes donation award was born, because I was like, I can't do it. I'm not doing it. I can't do that in DM, but we could do this maybe. He was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I regretted that because then we did have to sing for 5 straight minutes of DMing. But it was fun. I wrote a song for the intro. But yeah. Anyway, this fundraiser is cool too.
Yes, this fundraiser. So this one, like I said, so we're still working on the other charity fundraiser, which is in roughly
3 weeks.
penciled in 3 weeks.
Oh, something like that.
So it was something like, wasn't it 3 weeks?
Well, we
'Cause it was
said,
4
a
weeks
month-
last
We said a
week.
month.
We said a month to
last
kind
week.
of get the idea formed exactly
Yeah.
what we wanted to do, and then
Yeah.
pick a date. Yeah.
So roughly
Mm.
penciled in, sort of ish, that direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is still being. I'm one of those people who, if I don't have a close deadline, I forget to do it constantly. So I'm trying to be like, okay, today I need to make this thing work, and if I can make this thing work today, then I've achieved something.
Yeah.
So I've got ideas.
Excellent. Oh.
Everything's fine.
Okay. Right.
Okay, thanks for joining us, everybody, and thanks for donating to such an important cause.
Mhm.
And just round of applause again to Jenny for the big charity drive that she's been doing, fundraising, because she's a good old egg.
Adam,
No,
feel
no,
free
no,
to
she's
message me
good
your
at
ideas.
Right. So I am gonna stream again in a bit, but I'll say like an hour or so. But Tortu's streaming at the moment, and Tortu joined our Yemen campaign.
Ooh.
So if you want to go over there and chill with Tortu, that would be cool. Or at least come along and throw some hearts for a second. That'd be pretty sweet too. They're drawing some Animal Crossing characters at the moment. Oh yeah. Be cute. Be
Hi.
cute. Tortu's a sweetie pie. Anyway, so let's go do that. See you next week. Yeah?
Next week.
Next week. Bye.
New we may peek ya.
Peace. Bye.
Pizza.